Hello and welcome to photography class. You are either registered in the Art 170 Studio Experiences section, which is meant for non-majors, or you may be in the Art 261 section of Photography 1, which is designed for art and design majors. This class has two sections combined, but basically it'll be taught the same. My name is Nate Matthews. I am the lead photography professor here at Northeastern, and I usually teach the advanced photography classes. So if you take another photo class, you'd have a lot more time with me. And I teach a photo one at least every fall, if not also in the spring, and in this circumstance, in the summer. I've been teaching at Northeastern since about 2009, and this is probably the first time I've taught a 6-week version completely online of this class. So there might be some hiccups, but I think it's pretty well designed with a pretty clear kind of rhythm going, where I will give you lectures and artist talks to watch and assign readings on Mondays. The idea is to then go out and start photographing either Monday and or Tuesday in order to have something to post on Wednesdays, where you'll also be doing a visual literacy discussion board. But you'll post into a discussion board called a work in progress critique board. The idea is you post and a group of students, not the whole class, but a group of students will give you feedback on the work that you post. So you can then take that feedback and go out and rephotograph and ideally have the project kind of revised and perfected in order to post it into the critique discussion board, which will be on Saturdays. And the idea is to have till Sunday to finish and give your feedback to another group of small group of people's images. We're going to have 5 main projects. So the first 4 projects will have basically 1 week to do the photographing, revisions, and submit it. And then for the final project, the fifth project, you'll actually have a little over a week and a half because our class session ends kind of like midweek in week 6. So we'll have a little bit extended time, and that's a little bit more in-depth projects, so that makes sense. But we're going to be covering kind of camera basics in the first week. We'll be getting more into things like mood and thinking about light, and then doing portraiture and a typology. And then the final project is design that you will find an artist that inspires you, that uses photography, and take their work and kind of use it as a starting point to go out and create your own body of work. The class does require a camera that has some control. We'll be using aperture and shutter uh, ideally by week 1. So the important thing is to get a camera as soon as possible. For the non-art majors in the class, that means that you need to actually search for and find one, either through a local camera shop, maybe a pawn shop. There's actually a good camera store down in the Loop called Central Camera, or Dot Camera is on Armitage. There's also stores where you can buy cameras or even rent cameras if you wanted to. I've bought a lot from this site called keh.com, which I don't remember exactly where they're located, but they ship fast and you can buy a camera separate from a lens, but I can help you match up what you need. Or there's even places like borrowlenses.com or other places where you could rent. Although I don't know that renting for 5 weeks is really the best way to go. It probably would cost more than buying a used camera. But most places that you buy a used digital camera, we could be using either, well, a point and shoot usually doesn't have control over aperture and shutter speed, but a digital SLR definitely does, or even most mirrorless cameras do. And what we're looking for is a dial on top of the camera that says something like M, A, and either P or S or T. Um, And that will allow us to control exactly what we need to let more or less light in our camera through the aperture, capture more light or less light with our shutter speed, and just about any camera will let us control our ISO, which is the sensitivity. But that's really what we're looking for. And I would say most places you can probably get a camera that's only a few years old for probably about $100 or if you really want something, higher quality, 200 or so. Buying new would be probably more like 500 for a kit that would come with a camera and a lens brand new. So that's the important thing to start looking for as soon as possible. Art majors, on the other hand, we luckily have enough cameras available for checkout through the art department office for you to get a camera. And I will post up a spreadsheet or a Google form where you can put your information in to reserve a camera and ideally get it the week before classes start. If you have any questions, I'm best available through email. Uh, I would recommend doing it through D2L directly because I have a name that can be somewhat confused with another colleague at Northeastern. So I'm Nate Matthews, which is N hyphen Mathews with one T, but there is a faculty member in Justice Studies, Nancy Matthews, that spells her last name with two T's, which is the more common spelling. So if you just contact me directly through D2L, you'll make sure that you're getting the right email. I will have office hours, but I haven't posted them up yet, and I'll be posting a syllabus shortly. But I wanted to get something out there just so that people know if they need to go get a camera, that they should start looking for that. And I'll try and post information about some suggested options very shortly. Thank you.